Rockstar Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Appreciate everyone here. Make sure you smash that like button. That is all I ask that you do. Appreciate everyone joining. Welcome in to today's show. This one is not going to be a good. This is not going to be a. It's going to be a good show, but it's not one of those shows that you please don't expect any optimism. All right, there's a little bit of optimism, but there ain't a lot of optimism, okay? There's just not. So feel free to get in here, join the live stream. Feel free to get in the chat. Love to hear your thoughts. Miserable Monday. Let's get it, Dixon. Raw Walk in the house. What's up, Clay? Appreciate you in here, Raw Walk. Mad Chatter with the AOLS Messenger. Even though his real name, we all know him and love him as Mad Chatter, says, is lazy a choice? I guess that could be included, right? Unfortunately, I can't add that one. I can only add 4 options when it comes to the poll questions. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Again, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to fix this real quick because I'd like to make this a little bit bigger, make myself a little bit smaller. Let's see what that does. No, that's just terrible. That's just terrible. Now, well, I can make this a little bit bigger. Now, can I make myself? Let's see if that's better. Just trying to update the layout for you guys just a little bit here. That's good there. Okay. Y'all can see me. You can see the presentation. This is different. I set it up differently. Fans want to switch back to Bryce like he didn't have 86 yards passing the last game. Makes me laugh. Listen, I get it. I don't get it, why they want that. Okay. But it is what it is at the end of the day. It's stupid. It's dumb. Yeah, I don't know why we would want to bring back a guy who was averaging, averaging 80 something yards. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. So, yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand it either, Dixon. Panthers don't have the personnel of the defense. You lost your best pass rusher in Burns, top corner in Jackson, and the heart and soul of your defense in Louisville. Broski Bear, I don't disagree with you on that. Right now, it's showing. It's showing. As of right now, it is showing that. You know what I mean? It is. Like, I can't argue with you there. It's showing that. You know what I mean? Bros, what up? But what's up, broski? Appreciate you joining, man. Appreciate everyone in here. Make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter or Twitch, come on over to the YouTube channel. That's the best way you can show your support to me and the Rockstar Report. Come join this community. It's fun, friendly. We talk a lot of shit, but we also have fun doing it. All right. JSS Games is in here. What's good? What's good? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. So, guys, do me a favor, smash the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Also, click that post notifications bell. You'll always be notified when I'm live. The more you like, also the more you like this video, the more you like the live streams, the more people come through. So it'll get it out to people that don't know who I am or what we do over here. All right. Earl Walker, what's going on? What's going on, man? Appreciate you joining. All right, let's get right into it. Same old story, different week. We just had some fresh outfits. We look good losing. That's about it. So let's talk about the defensive recap. I want to get into this defensive recap first, okay? I want to get into this defensive recap first because it's crazy, man. It's crazy to me where this defense is at right now. Let's just say this defense is a joke. And I'm going to dive more into this defense, but I just want to talk about the defense recap first. I'm ready to declare that this defense is the worst defense in Panthers history. We had injuries. I get that. But even with that excuse, they're playing like they don't know what the hell they're doing. Okay? This is 2 straight weeks where they go one stop to start the game and then just bent over for the rest of it and that's until garbage time. So what happens between the first drive and the rest of the game? Like, it's like they forgot what they're doing and how to play defense. But I also blame Evero for not making adjustments because of the adjustments that Atlanta made. Like third downs, we were terrible in third downs. Every time Atlanta hit a third down, it was like the Panthers defense decided to play guess the coverage. Corners were running around like they've got no idea who to cover. The safeties like Xavier Woods apparently forget that he's supposed to be the deepest man. And for some reason, our linebackers are trying to cover Drake London one-on-one. So, Evero, make that make sense to me. Why are our linebackers trying to cover Drake London one-on-one? It's like watching a middle school team out here. There's been zero adjustment, nothing, no answer. It's the same crap over and over again. And I'm sick of it. Like, when do they stop? Do they get a stop? It feels like pure luck. Honestly, they're a disgrace to the proud defenses we've had in this franchise. I hate watching this group so much that they aren't enough curse words in the English language to express how painful it is to watch this defense. For sure, Dixon. Definitely the worst defense in franchise history. At some point, you need to put Bryce back in, let him sink or swim. I think it was good to give him. I disagree with that. This offense is competent. The first 2, why would I put somebody in there that's averaged 90 yards first 2 weeks of the season? Makes no sense to me to play him. I think it's time to move on from Bryce. Because I think Dave Canales is going to move on from Bryce Young. As long as Dave Canales is the head coach, Bryce Young will not be here. I don't think Dave Canales is going to keep working on Bryce Young or working with him. I just don't see it happening. Dane Jackson did not get on the field, it looks like. So he was not on the field at all. Nervous with the $5 donation. Appreciate you, Nervous. You know what the Carolina Panthers defense reminds me of? That. The Undertaker's music. Just dead. It's just dead. That's what it is. And everybody is yelling at the TV like this. What the hell's going on out here? What? That's what they're yelling at the TV at. Nervous, shout out to you for the $5 donation. Appreciate you, my guy. Yeah. Appreciate you. I can't understand people saying Evero has no fault. They make really idiotic mistakes that have nothing to do with the talent or just the lack of effort. That's what I'm saying, man. Damn. I hate seeing people say it was not fault. Damn, Nervous with the two $5. Is that two $5 donations? Damn, Nervous. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Nervous. I can understand. Nervous, I'm right there with you. We're going to dive more into Evero here in a second, ladies and gentlemen. Was the Tyrant Sanders' best game? Yeah, this was his best game. We'll talk more about him. Xavier Woods looks like our worst player in defense. He did not look good yesterday. We barely bleached. Shake my head. Domo Smith, yeah. Well, the problem is we don't have any good blitz packages because we don't have any good pass rushers to run those blitz packages with. So I do have to, like, it's a personnel issue, but it's also a coaching issue. Sooner or later, we got to stop pointing fingers at just players and just players alone and start pointing fingers at the scheme. Start pointing fingers at the coaching because it's all involved. The problem is that the personnel, we don't have a 3 technique in the middle to close up that front line of this front 7. You got 2 of your probably your best communicator / linebacker and Shaq Thompson, leader, is out for the year. So his experience is crucial to this defense. You got your best safety out, Jordan Fuller, out. I don't know how long. You got Josie Jewell, who really hasn't been really that good. And if he comes back, I think it'll help, but it's not going to help much. So your linebackers aren't closing their gaps. I think Claudin Churlis was the worst player I saw yesterday, though, between him and Xavier Woods. I mean, I know he's up there. He's got 5 total tackles. Good for him. But, again, 0 sacks on the game, man. Shy Total's still fucking ass. A'Shawn Robinson got hurt. You got Marquise Haynes out there coming off the edge. He can't do shit. Charles Harris still can't do shit. We got 3 quarterback hits on the day. I mean, there was times when we were getting pressure, but man, Jesus. Look at those stats. And that's not even the final stats on the game. I think that was at some point in the game when they posted that 5 good problems. I saw that one. Nervous is big balling today. Particularly, we keep seeing communication errors on defense, which even the commentators keep mentioning. It's 100% coaching. Exactly. But it's also players not being disciplined enough to execute the plays properly. But it's also a personnel issue. I think, again, with the poll question of the day, where does the defensive issue lie? And the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is all the above. It's all the above. Yeah, you run the ball to beat the Panthers. Exactly. He'll be back, but I don't know when. I think I think it's like a 4 weeks thing. Yep, exactly, Domo. 2 points. If you really believe Panthers have closed the door completely on Bryce, then I get not playing him anymore. I just don't see it, man. I really don't. Like, again, if you expect Carolina's defense to stop anyone, you're dreaming because the Falcons ran all over us. Bijan Robinson almost had 100 yards. Tyler Algier had over 100 yards. That's not his final stats up there. Or, well, I guess down there, down below. I have it. I have this stuff over here on my screen. But they combined for over 200 yards. 3 touchdowns. They gashed our defense up like we did the Detroit Lions a couple years ago. That's what we saw. They just ground and pound. And we just sat there and took it. Like the Carolina Panthers pass rush is non-existent. They're 3 quarterback hits, 0 sacks. Kirk Cousins probably, again, I told you, the guy was back there. He could have made a sandwich, took a bite of it, then thrown the ball. He was probably whistling a song back there, chilling with a clean jersey, and he threw for over 225 yards and a touchdown. No sack, no pressure, no hope. The only thing we had was 3 quarterback hits. I think another thing is that we got to talk about too, though, is that without Derek Brown to anchor this middle and this defense, the defense is a joke. That's part of the biggest problem. It's clear at this point that any team with a decent run game in the NFL is just going to bulldoze our defense. So until Carolina figures out how to stop the run, every opponent is going to follow Atlanta's blueprint and run and run and run some more. We're going to talk more about that defense. Let's get into the offense real quick. Take it as that us all at this point, this team has been managed so badly, it takes years to fix it. As long as we're not just giving ever a free pass here, I'm fine. That's my main point. I understand that. I don't think we can give him a free pass. We've got to point the fingers at him as well, just as much as the players, just as much as the scheme. I think it's all the above when it comes to that poll question. 2, I was telling everyone before the season, you're underestimating how bad the Panthers defense is going to be. I don't like making excuses, but this is tough because defense is filled with scrubs. Players on the field have to make plays. Yeah, exactly. They have to make plays. Bryce isn't Canales' guy. He'll be gone next season. I don't know, Dixon. I think that he'll still be on the roster. I hate to say that. I just think they're just going to sit him. Sup, Clay? We suck. Yeah, I'm glad someone else is finally realizing that, because I realized that we sucked last week. I told everybody that we need to finally realize that this team is just not good. And that's why I want Panthers fans to realize out there, we're just not good. And just take it as you will. You know what I mean? Take it as you will. But we're just not good. We're just not. We're just not good. So I want everybody just to realize that we're just not good. And that's the fact of the matter. Like, that's what I was saying last week. I would give it a 3% chance, Jadarius. If they start him and he somehow turns it around, becomes the franchise guy after the moves they've made. I think it's an absolute 3% chance. Yeah, DB is a huge move. DB is a huge loss. Sorry. Marco Sash says all the above. Obviously, I understand. Did Mingo do anything? Oh, we're going to talk about Mr. Jonathan Mingo with a 1 reception for 1 yard. We knew this defense would be the weak point going into the season. We banked on 40-year-old. Well, Dixon, I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Not this bad. I knew our pass rush was going to lack. I didn't think our cornerback room was going to be that bad, but it's not terrible, but it's not great. But Xavier Woods, Jordan Fuller, our safeties, They are miscommunicating. And the miscommunication, that is on coaching. When you talk about our safeties miscommunicating, like Xavier Woods yesterday a couple times, that is miscommunication by coaching. Yeah, flame for Jesus. I mean, you weren't wrong about it last year either. Broski Bear, sometimes I have my good moments, sometimes I have my bad. Broski build a winning bear. That's hilarious. Unless it's a trade to Bryce Young, it isn't going anywhere. If we let him go, go 31 million dead cap. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Flame. They can't afford the dead cap. Now they trade him. It's a different story. Right. It's a different story if it's a trade. I was at the game. T Green comes in and said it was more Panthers fans there, which was surprising. Well, that's good. That's good. He'll build a bear to me. I'm already doing mock drafts. We ain't even halfway through the season. I don't blame you, Dixon. We're going to start doing them here soon, too. We're going to start breaking down guys in the draft that we need to look at. Wish we could fast forward this season like it, man. I feel that. Let's talk about this offense real quick. I'm just going to give you my thoughts, and I'm not done with Mr. Dave Canales either, because we're going to talk about him today. So let's talk about the offensive side of the ball. I don't think it was bad at all. That's the only bright spot I have to say. I don't think it was that bad. Was it? But it was inconsistent. Everybody had their moments. They also had plenty of head-scratching moments, like what the hell was that kind of moments. Dave Canales, I understand you're a rookie head coach. He's just okay to me right now from the coaching standpoint and play calling. Now, I'm not ready to run him out of town just yet as a rookie head coach, but I've got my issues. Okay? First off, he pulled off a great challenge to get that fumble recovery. Had some balls to throw that challenge flag out there on that. So good for you. All right. And then 2 back sets with Sanders and Hubbard were something I've been screaming for, I've been waiting for all season. So I'm going to give credit where credit's due on that. Having 2 back sets, I've been waiting for that. But this guy still doesn't seem to understand that Chuba Hubbard is our best offensive weapon right now. And how is he not getting the ball more? Because every time he touches it, something good happens. Yet we're still out here calling screens to Ian Thomas. Why is Ian Thomas even on the fucking field? Why is he still on this team? Like, come on. The guy's got bricks for heads. He sucks. Get him the fuck out of Carolina. Like, what are we doing? Like, Canals, you got to get it together for me on that part. The offensive line wasn't terrible. Even missing Corbett and Taylor Moton. It wasn't terrible, but missing those guys was a little bit obvious. But I thought they did pretty well. The penalties were brutal, killed a lot of momentum we had, especially from Josh Nishman. And Damian Lewis had a holding. Josh Nishman had a false start. I think he also had a holding. Ike Ekwonu had 2 false starts. All those were killers. Like Andy Dalton, you got to bless that man's heart, man. Like, played a damn good game besides until he imploded in the 4th quarter. But, that's classic Carolina Panthers for you right there. He was moving the ball, making plays when it counted. But when it counted, here's the problem. But when it counted, he threw a couple of soul-crushing interceptions, and that was it. Game over. Chuba Hubbard was solid as always. No surprise there. Deontay Johnson had a great first half. Our rookie showed some flashes, and I'm going to give them some love today as well. But it's like every time this offense takes 2 steps forwards, they shoot themselves in the foot and they take 3 steps back. 3 steps back. I'm sick of the 3-4. Let me get to some of these chat real quick. I'm sick of the 3-4. We have always been a 4-3. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Appreciate you there. I appreciate you there, James Allen. Appreciate you, James Allen. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. Coker better than Mingo. Absolutely. Marcos keep pounding to the worst record in the league, so the Bears get the first pick and second round. Thanks. Oh, broski. Step on that like button. Absolutely. Coker looks like he gets it for sure. The Bears are building a good team, broski. Nice. The Bears are building a good team, broski. Nice defense. Offense improving every week. Yeah. Matt Effortless might be saving his job, or the coaches around him are saving his job, one or the other. Clay, what's your record prediction for the Panthers now? Probably 3-14, 4-13 at this point. If they can't get the defense turned around, that's where it's heading. Because this offense can put up points. We see that. This offense is putting up points. It's not like we didn't put up points in this game. So, again, Ian Thomas, yeah, right. Block your ass. I'm not out on him as a coach. Canales hasn't been making front office moves past few years. Give him another season before we really criticize. Yep. Mine is still 2-15, broski. Another 2-15 season coming from Flame for Jesus. T Green, I think something's going on in the locker room amongst players because, man, we hasn't played a decent game since the Raiders. It's a lot of things, T Green. It's a lot more than just something going on in the locker room. You got your blocking tight end running routes with the game on the line. That shit pissed me off. Get Ian out of there. Exactly. Hey, Walt, what's good, man? Appreciate you joining. Ian Thomas, not known for his receiving. He's a blocker. Exactly. Ian Thomas is terrible. I'm sure he's a good guy, but as a player, I feel like Clay could perform better at this point. Oh, I definitely could. I would just have to re-up my, my running skills and my footwork and all that stuff, Jadarius. Give me about a year of football training, and I probably could do at least a better route running and catching job than Ian Thomas. Canal says, yeah, I definitely could do a better catching job now, but getting up to NFL speed would be a different story. Canal says, yet to be stubborn with the run like we preach. Shake my head. I know. Domo, in this game, he was a little bit more, I'd say, 24 times. Well, Dalton, the 3 don't count. Miles Sanders, 21. I mean, Chuba Hubbard, 18. It was better. I said 2 to 4 wins with Andy, 0 with Bryce. Yeah. I don't know why he threw it to Thomas. It sucks. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why Dalton threw the ball to try to throw the ball at Ian Thomas when you got AJ Terrell in front of him. Like, AJ Terrell is going to beat him on that route. Not going to lie, starting to question Canales. He's playing like he wants the first pick. Well, a lot of people were thinking yesterday we're tanking for the season. When the defense can't stop them anytime they touch the ball, our offense has to play mistake-free. Yep. Ian Thomas in the midst of it. They ever met. I want Saleh here. I want Saleh here too. Don't forget, Chuba was gashing the Falcons when we were down 28-20. Then Andy threw that interception to Ian Thomas and had Mingo, I think, wide open for. Yeah. Well, no, Marcos, he had Mingo for a short 5-yard, little dunk route, and he could have just taken that, but instead he went for the Ian Thomas. And even at press conference, Dalton said I should have thrown that to Mingo. And I would have too. At T Green, I don't think we're beating the Commanders. The Commanders look too good right now. Please play Jordan Matthew. Can he not block? I think he can block. I don't think he's terrible. We give up 30+ points. We ain't winning much. Exactly, Dixon. Exactly. When you give up that many points, we literally traded away or let walk our defensive talent for Bryce. We got to give Evero some grace. Joshua, I'm going to give him grace, but I'm also going to give him shit too. You know, and we're going to go over that. We're going to go over that. But I want to talk about Dave Canales first. Okay? I want to talk about Dave Canales first, and then we'll talk about Mr. Evero, because there's plenty of blame to go around. It's not just Evero. It's personnel. It's scheme. It's all the above. That's why that poll question's up there today. It's all the above, ladies and gentlemen. We got over 30-something people watching. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor. Smash that like button. I greatly appreciate it. We should be over 25 likes at this point. So go ahead. Get me over to 25 likes. I would greatly appreciate that. It goes a long way. But let's talk about Dave Canales. All right. Because let's not kid ourselves. We're a train wreck. A lot of this is going to come down on Dave Canales and Ejiro Evero. But the team, again, they just got smacked around by the Falcons in week 6. Like, started off great in the first half, looked pretty good, came back. You know, we were down 22-10, scored before the half, 22-17. You're still in the ball game, okay? So a great momentum shift there before the halftime. But you can sit here and talk about the adjustments, man, going in the second half and say, what the fuck was that? On both sides of the ball. And people can sit here and blame injuries. You can say weak roster. You can say a huge chunk of the disaster lies on Canales' feet. Like, I get it. This guy's an inexperience as a head coach. And it's starting to show. And it's killing this team. And that's unfortunate. But if you thought things could get worse at 1-5, surprise, surprise, they can. Because right here, if we talk about it, what does momentum mean to you? What does momentum mean to you, Carolina Panthers fans and people in the chat? Because I think right now this team has no idea what it is. Because momentum in football is everything. You either ride with it or you get stomped out. And guess what? The Panthers have been getting stomped out so long, they probably forgot what momentum feels like. Because the Falcons were just the latest team to kick the Panthers while they were down. And this loss wasn't about injuries or a crappy defense. It was Dave Canales in this point that I would have to say that in this game, Dave Canales looked clueless about how to manage this game and this team. I have to do that. Now, I gave him some credit earlier with some of the offensive things. And there is credit where credit's due there. Sure. And there is some credit to give. They somehow managed to keep things competitive in this game, despite missing half of their defense. But that's not enough, especially when your head coach decides to hit the self-destruct button in the fourth quarter. The Panthers were down by 8 points, marching down the field, thanks to what? A strong run game, ladies and gentlemen. A strong run game. So what does Canales do? He ditches what's working. He calls a pass play to Ian Thomas, of all people, which led to Andy Dalton gifting the ball to the Falcons corner to A.J. Terrell. What a classic mix-up that was. And that was the moment I knew it was over, because we were already down 28-20 in the fourth quarter. But we were driving. There was that glimmer of hope there. And Andy throws this boneheaded interception to Ian Thomas with A.J. Terrell covering him, knowing as a quarterback, you know A.J. Terrell's got the speed to outrun an Ian Thomas. And you're at 2nd and 8 at Atlanta's 32. And Andy Dalton, by the life of me, could have just thrown a 5-yard pass to Mingo, and it had been 3rd and 3, maybe first down. He might have got the extra 3 yards on 2nd and 8. But he tries to force this pass to Ian Thomas, and of course it gets picked off. What did Atlanta do after that? They marched down the field 84 yards. Tyler Algier capped it off with another touchdown. Game over. But I have to put that on Canales just as much as I have to put that on Andy Dalton. Because Canales made the play call, Dalton made the throw. I just continue to remember, ladies and gentlemen, when Canales first took this job, he was preaching about running the ball. This whole thing about we're going to be run first offensive spiel. And what happened next? It's not like Chuba wasn't ripping through Atlanta's defense. The ground game was working, ladies and gentlemen. So why call a pass to a tight end who just came back from injury, who's never been anything, has never done anything except not been known to be what? A blocking tight end. He's got bricks for hands, and he shouldn't even be on this team in the first place because he fucking sucks. Ian Thomas, if you watch this, I'm a fan of the Carolina Panthers, and I'm sure you're a good guy, but you suck. Sorry. It is what it is. I know that I probably couldn't make it in the NFL either. I know that. That's why I'm doing this instead. But my God, he's known for a blocking tight end. Why are we trying to force feed a guy with bricks for hands? Especially a guy who just came back from injury. And this is in crunch time. You're making this decision on crunch time. Now, again, Dalton's decision-making on that throw is also on him. But still, Ian Thomas should not be on the field running routes. He should be blocking. So in crunch time, Dave Canales has been hilariously bad. It's these kinds of idiotic calls to me that will get him chewed up by the NFL if he doesn't fix it fast. It's frustrating. That's why I could, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. And I apologize to you guys for last night. I apologize to you guys for not going live and doing my post-game show. I couldn't mentally do it. That's why I had to have a nice rest and again come back on here today, talk to you guys. Appreciate that, T Green. 33 people watching, only 16 likes. I hope we got more than 16 likes now. I hope we got more than 60 likes. Guys, make sure you pound that like button. We only got 20 likes. We've got 30. Look, we've got 36 people watching, and there's only 20 likes. Let's go. Smash that like button. My live goal for every live stream is for 100 likes or more. If you can't get me to 100 likes or more, let's start off with 25 likes or more. Once we reach that mark, let's hit the 50 likes or more. That's all I ask. I just want you to hit that like button. I don't care about anything else. All right, that's all I ask. I'm trying to keep up with all you guys' comments. So many comments. So many comments. I can't keep up with them. So if you really want me to get to your comment, I'm not asking for your money, but if you really want to get your comment read, because I can't read them all, you're going to have to give me a super chat or something because I can't get to all your comments. I'm going to try. I'm going to try, but there's so many people in the chat. I can't do it. Okay. I'm only a one-man band over here. All right. But I'm not done with Dave Canales. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Is Dave Canales on the hot seat? Not yet. But he's probably the way he's coaching right now, he's asking for it. Look, I'm not saying Dave Canales is going to get fired tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, but if this keeps going the way it's going, he's writing his own obituary as a head coach. Like, the Panthers need stability. They need to see this plan through, because whatever the hell that is, but there's no denying that Canales has been clueless when it comes to situational football, which is most important. And every week, to me, it feels like he's making a rookie mistake. And I get that because he is a rookie head coach. But at this level, that gets you embarrassed. There's no time to catch your breath either. Like, the Panthers are heading to Washington next week, to where the Commanders are starting to figure things out. Jaden Daniels looks like the rookie of the year as of right now. And unless Dave Canales gets his head out of his ass, Carolina's going to start staring down another loss at a 1-5, and the season's already looking like another trash year under David Tepper's ownership. And David Tepper's patience isn't infinite. It isn't. Because Canales better hope he doesn't run out of chances before he figures out how to coach like he's been here before. But I want to say this to Dave Canales. Stop overthinking it, Dave. Because here's the thing. Canales' biggest mistake when we watch these games is he's trying to be too clever. So just stop. If the run game is working, stick with it. If you're driving down the field with these, don't go rogue. Throw to your least reliable guy, right? Don't go rogue and go throw to Ian Thomas. Canales is trying to overcomplicate things, and it's biting him. And the Panthers are in the ass every single week. It's overcomplicating things, and it's biting him and this team in the ass every single week. This is basic stuff. So don't try to overthink it and then in the fourth quarter of a winnable game, don't like run something crazy. Let me get to some of these comments. I'm going to try to get to y'all's comments. Clay been consistent. I've been consistent. Yes. Week 10. Drafting a hurt running back off a off-ball linebacker with your second and third picks looking dumber by the day. We can't even trade players for picks because we just waste our picks on reaches. Right, the Jonathan Brooks thing doesn't look good right now, Red Guy. I do agree with you on that. I think Trevor Wallace is still a raw talent with a bunch of potential, but I thought he played very well yesterday. Once again, I think Trevor Wallace played well, but that's just me. With Tepper in the building, every seat is already pre-warmed. Yeah, it's like he's got everybody's seats with, like, you know how a car has seat warmers? It's either low or high or medium. Dave Canales came in with his seat already low, and he didn't even know it. Marcos. Our bye is November 13th, so give it till then. We'll see. Jaden Daniels might torch that defense. Yeah. I won't be surprised, Darius. Let's get Trevor Lawrence. Fuck it. You want to take on that contract, Dixon? I don't know. If Dave would give Chuba the ball 25 times every game, if you don't, you throw in the game. Facts. Clay Canales gets too cute. Everything stuff. Just stick with what was working. Exactly, Demo. Nah, I mean, Broski Bear Leggett looks good, man. I don't know why people are nitpicking at Leggett. Leggett looks good. Like he looks better than Jonathan Mingo. He's done more than Jonathan Mingo's ever done. He's done more than Terrace Marshall's ever done. I don't understand why we nitpick at Xavier Leggett. Leggett, he's a development. He's a project guy when it comes to routes. But the way they used him in the end zone yesterday is how you're supposed to use Leggett. At least, again, that's why the title of this is Same Old Story, Different Week, but with some fresh outfits. We at least looked good doing it yesterday. You know? Yeah, Joshua, we did look good. The scheme looked good. The scheme, the helmet, pants, everything. The scheme looked good there, right? We got over 36. We got actually over 50 people watching total in totality. We already got over 26 likes. We got 26 likes. So hey guys, guess what? Give yourself a round of applause. All right, round of applause to you guys getting this live stream up to 26 likes. I appreciate you guys. All right, now make sure we're still not done. The job's not done. We got to get this live goal up to 50 likes or more. I would greatly appreciate it. All right. With Dave Canales, I'm gonna finish it up with a couple more things on this. All right, this team's already in a mess, and you don't want to make it worse. That's the thing. Like we're already drowning. The last thing we need is for our head coach to push them under even further. Like we've got problems everywhere: bad drafting, weak roster, injuries. I agree with everything there. Canales is adding to the pile, though. It's one thing to lose because your team's not good enough. It's another to lose because your coaching is making boneheaded decisions. You guys see it. The fan base sees it. The players feel it. Canales has to figure this out. Now, here's the thing. There are some positives, but it's just not enough. I think Canales is going to find some positives in this mess. Maybe he'll point to a few good drives, how the team stayed in until the fourth quarter. That's just not enough, Dave. If you want to succeed in the NFL, you got to do more than just keep things close. All right. Just to keep things close. Like you've got to win. And right now, this team doesn't know how to do that. Canales is making things worse for us and trying to be too cute. And when the situation demands something a lot simpler, just play smart football. Like, can Canales turn it around? I think there's a good chance he can, at least from the offensive standpoint, because he's got a lot of growing up to do as a head coach. He is a rookie head coach, but he does have to figure this out. And he'll be another, if he doesn't, he's just going to end up being another casualty in this long list of Panthers failed experiments. But I hope I'm wrong because I do feel like I said, I do feel like we do have something here with Dave Canales, but he's got to learn as a head coach to not overthink things and not get too cute with things and stick with what is working. Listen, I'm not saying don't throw some creativity out there. Throw some motion. So throw some pre-snap motion. Sure. Throw those two back sacks. I like that. Okay. I like that he has balls to challenge plays. I like that as well. But when it comes to the crunch time situations, Dave, just don't overthink it. Just don't overthink it. The only thing I'll say to the Leggett pick, and I see the chat, Okay. I see the chat. The only thing I say to the Leggett pick that I'll say that is, did I miss another $5 donor? Hey, Nervous with another $5 donation. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Nervous with another $5 donation. He says, I think Leggett could end up with 500 plus yards, 6 touchdowns, which is decent enough for a wide receiver stats on a crappy team. Absolutely. Shout out to you. Woo! Shout out to you. What? Yeah. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Getting better at my soundboard, by the way. I'm trying to get better at the soundboard. Listen, only thing I got to say is about the Leggett thing, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Leggett was a good pick, but for what this team really needed, there was better options on the table at the time. Like a Zach Frazier. All right. Like a Zach Frazier. You could have got him at center. You could have got, if we go back and look at the draft, gosh, I got to go back and look at the draft. I mean, you could have got an edge rusher. You could have got your 3 technique and in Sweat. You could have got Kool-Aid McKinstry, I think, was there. Who else could you have gotten? There was a lot of guys that we could have gotten. There's a lot of guys that we could have gotten instead. But here was the problem. They went out and got a weapon. But that's the problem, though, there, Dixon. They went out and got a weapon that can take the top off of the defense, but with a quarterback with a noodle arm. That's the issue. That's the issue. They went out and got a guy that Bryce really can't throw to. That's the problem. You got a guy that's a 50-50 ball goer, a home run threat, a guy that can hit good cross routes, post routes, quick slants because of his speed, athleticism, physicality. Can go up and get it, can use his speed to take off the defense, but you don't have a quarterback like Bryce Young who can't throw it to a guy like that. That's the issue. So they tried, but that's the thing though, Dixon. They tried to see if Bryce was cheeks or not, and that's why they went and got Leggett. Can Bryce use a guy like Leggett? And the answer is no, because he doesn't have the arm talent. And yeah, and Broski, I don't disagree with that. I really don't. There was other pressing matters that needed to be addressed that Dan Morgan should address, like the center, like the edge rusher, like your true nose tackle that you could have gotten, like another edge rusher that you could have gotten. Let's get into Averill. This is where it is very tough for me to say that this defense, and we don't look at it, and we cannot sit here and look at this guy and say he's not an issue. This defense has been an absolute shit show. There's no polite way to say this. Through 6 weeks, we've watched the Carolina Panthers crumble on defense. It's painful and obvious that whatever Evero is trying to do, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what you say. Stop giving this man a pass. Yes, Frankie Louvu gone. Jeremy Chin's gone. Brian Burns is gone. I get all that. Injuries, get all that. But we've got a defense that is playing clueless, even with the talent on it, should not be playing this clueless. Should not be managing the situations. Should not be miscommunicating with the other players. Xavier Woods, not playing the deep man that you're supposed to be playing, getting burned twice. Why do we have linebackers going up with Drake London? Going one-on-one with Drake London. See, chat, yesterday, Ejiro Evero had linebackers going one-on-one with Drake London. And y'all want to sit here and say that this guy is not a problem as a coach? Make it make sense. The fuck? Why is a fucking linebacker going on a Drake London? But we don't want to blame the coach for that. We don't want to blame the coach for that. We want to blame the players. We want to blame the personnel. We want to blame that we don't look at the coach. We don't want to look at the scheme. We don't want to blame the defensive genius and Ejiro Evero, but he lost Frankie Louvu. He lost Brian Burns. Are you talking about Seal? Broski, bro, stop, man. Broski gonna make me lose my shit on here. I appreciate you making me laughing because I'm getting my blood pressure raised up. So, I mean, guys, just make it make sense to me, though, in the chat, because everybody's like, oh, you can't blame Evero. You can't blame him. He lost Frankie Lou. He lost Brian Burns. He lost Jeremy Chin. He lost Dante Jackson. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? And then we got Broski here in the chat talking about Ejiro Evero looks like Seal. Stop. Make me choke on my water. Shit. But look at this. 47 points, 26 points, 34 points, 36 points, 38 points. You want to know what the total is? You want to know the total of points? All right, so we're going to add it all up. 47 plus 26 plus 22 plus 24 plus 36 plus 38 equals 193 points this defense has allowed this season. So that's adding that 38. No. So that 65 points is not correct. The PFF must have not have updated it yet. So out of 6 games, what does that average to? Okay. 193 points allowed. We just added it up. 47. I want to double check myself. 47 plus 26 plus 22 plus 34 plus 36 plus 38 equals. Oh, wow. Wait, hold on. 38 plus 36 plus 34 plus 22 plus 26 plus 47. Sorry, that actually equals up to 203 points. My apologies. And you can double check my math. All right. 203. Divide that by 6. This defense is allowing 34 points a game. When do we stop blaming the fucking players and start blaming this fuck? It checks out. Ejiro Evero is also the problem. This is a guy that brought in a lot of hype was supposed to be this next big defensive-minded head coach, a guy who could turn this unit into some respectable shit. Instead, it's been an embarrassment display of missed assignments, blown coverage, and a defense that might as well not even have a front fucking seven. So let's talk about specifics, shall we? Because we're getting gashed on the ground every single week. Opposing running backs are having career days. We revamped J.K. Dobbins' career. Chase Brown and Zach Moss all of a sudden are good running backs. DeAndre Swift had a smacked our ass. Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson just pumping us raw. No Diddy. Pause. But shit. Any random backup, it doesn't matter. If you're an NFL running back playing against the Panthers, you're in for a field day. So fantasy people, okay? If you got a running back that's playing against the Carolina Panthers, you better start him. Hell, I might go on prop bets and sleeper picks and prize picks, and I'm just going to put in the running back to have over whatever yards against us. And I'm going to even put the backup running back as well. Because this defensive line is getting bullied. Linebackers are out of position going up against, once again, I'm going to let y'all know this again, one-on-one with Drake London yesterday. So they're playing out of position. The secondary is back there. They're running around with blindfolds half of the time. No communication. It's an absolute joke. And the biggest thing that I don't understand is there is no adjustments, no answers. There's no adjustments. There's no answers. No adjustments, no answers. That's the biggest issue I have. He doesn't even adjust. And here's what I'm going to talk about. This is where this is the most infuriating at, because it's the leak, the complete lack of adjustments. Because think about it this way, okay? If you watch the full game against Atlanta, after the first quarter, it's like Evero just throws his hands up and says, well, that's all I got. There's no creativity. There's no answers to what opposing offenses is throwing at us. Teams figure out this defense in about 5 minutes. From there, it's open fucking season. Third downs, forget about it. Might as well spot the opposing offense an automatic first down. It doesn't matter if it's 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 15. Somehow the Panthers will give it up. And every time. And Evero just stands there on the sideline looking like someone who left the oven on at home, lost and fucking confused. But our run defense is non-existent, man. Zero run defense. Because holy hell, it's bad. I get it. Injuries are a problem. Everybody's going to go, but injuries are a problem. Give me a fucking break. Injuries happen in the NFL and teams adjust. Good teams adjust. Elite defensive coaches adjust. And they make the adjustments to fit the personnel to win football fucking games. Stop giving this pussy ass shit to a guy that is not that good. Good coaches make good adjustments with the personnel that they have, and they're able to work with that and make correct adjustments and win football games. That's what makes you a good head coach. That's why he hasn't gotten one. Because he's incompetent of doing so, and he's stubborn in his ways, and he's not willing to change the defense up. So make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm waiting. I am going off because I'm tired of it. We want to sit here and say he doesn't have the personnel. The scheme's not an issue because he doesn't have the personnel, and the injuries are the problem. And you lost Brian Burns, and you lose Frankie Luva, and you lose Jeremy Chan, and you lost Dante Jackson. But when do we start saying we might lost those guys, but how come good defensive coaches are able to make adjustments and are still able to make their defense competent enough to at least give your offense a chance to win football games? After what I just said there, I'm dropping the bomb on what I just said. I'm dropping the bomb.
Does he look like a bitch?
I'm just saying, you have to be better. Derek Brown has been hurt. Sure, that's a big loss. But even with these injuries, ladies and gentlemen, there's no excuse for getting obliterated on the ground game every single week. Guys aren't filling their gaps. Tackles are being missed left and right. It's like they've completely forgotten what the hell and the whole point of a defense is. You know, stop the other team from advancing the football. It's not just bad, ladies and gentlemen. It's historically bad. If you have to go back decades to find a Panthers defense that was this bad, we used to pride ourselves on our tough, gritty defense. 2015 Super Bowl run was fueled by a defense that would punch you in the mouth and make you think twice about running at them again. That defense, this defense, they're getting ran over and can't make a decent tackle half the time. The secondary looks clueless. Okay? I don't know whatever I was telling these guys, but they sure don't seem to know what the hell they're doing. There have been multiple times where our corners are looking at each other mid-play as if to say, wait, you were supposed to cover him. Meanwhile, that receiver is 20 yards down the field wide open. But it doesn't help either when you have linebackers going one-on-one with Drake London. We're talking about NFL professionals here, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like they don't even know how to play basic zone coverage. I mean, we've got linebackers again trying. This is the one that blows my mind because that's why I keep going back to it. And I'll say it till it blew in my face. We've got linebackers trying to cover Drake London one-on-one. What kind of joke is that? And the safety play, Xavier Woods, who seems to have forgotten that his job is to be the deepest guy on the field. Again, Watching this secondary play defense is like watching someone assemble an IKEA furniture without instructions. It's just a mess and confusion and frustration. And again, Evero's scheme isn't working. Whatever scheme is, again, the scheme is not working. The 3-4 scheme is ass, or at least this 3-4 scheme is ass. Because this 3-4 scheme has been failed. The Saints torched us through, it was like paper, putting points at will. This defense is too reliant on edge pressure and linebacker play. That's the problem. It's a complex 3-4 scheme. That's what I'm trying to get at here. That's why I keep bringing up the Brian Burns and Frankie Louva are gone, because it's a system that makes no sense with this current personnel. You run a 3-4 without those key playmakers, plus a 3-4 technique inside guy at the technique position at the nose tackle. You got Shy Tuttle in there, who's undersized and is fucking slow as molasses. But you're running a 3-4 defense without those types of players, like a Frankie Louvu, like a Brian Burns, because you don't have them anymore. But in theory, a 3-4 defense is supposed to give you that versatility. But what's the point of versatility if you're not stopping anyone? Our linebackers, again, continue to struggle to generate constant pressure. And the defensive line isn't built to dominate from this alignment. So without a true pass rushing outside linebacker or a premier edge defender like a Max Crosby, this 3-4 scheme is just wasting time and talent. And it's wasting our defense, and it's putting up 34 points a game on average right now. You have to switch this defense up. I don't think you're going to be able to switch this defense up to a complete 4-3, which they need to switch back to, but you're not going to be able to do that mid-season. But that scheme would immediately play to the strengths of the personnel still on this roster and are able to compensate for the losses that we already have. Because in a 4-3 scheme, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to explain it to you basically. When you play a 4-3 scheme, you place more emphasis on your D-line generating pressure, which I'd much rather do at this point, because then you have 4 down linemen doing their primary job, which is to win the line of scrimmage. And this is critical for 2 reasons. At first, it allows the defensive lineman to get into the backfield, disrupt the opposing quarterback, something that has virtually been non-existent since week 1. Second, it simplifies the roles of the linebackers, allowing them to focus on coverage and run stopping instead of blitzing on nearly every play. But we can't, even though when we do blitz, we're not getting any pressure because we don't have the right edge rushers to do so. We can't keep acting like Ejiro Evero is immune to criticism here. His defensive scheme is supposedly the hallmark of his coaching brilliance and has been utter failure so far. There have been 0 adjustments, and that's on Evero. I'm not saying that they need to switch to a 4-3 defense, but they need to adapt to this personnel on hand. Because Evero had success in Denver with a 3-4 defense. But guess what? He had the players to run that system. The Panthers don't. It's that simple. This isn't about theory or potential anymore. It's about cold, hard results. This 3-4 is not working. And I get it. Derek Brown out for the year. That's a huge one. But the clock is ticking. We've got to make changes. We've got to make adjustments. I'm tired of watching this defense get torched week in and week out. And it's got to be a part of that. Evero is a part of that. That is one hell of a name. Ricky G, the Cookie Man. That is one hell of a name. Sometimes I look for answers in the chat to see if someone will give them to me, broski. Sometimes I do. Dom 34, appreciate you in here. Yeah, and we can't do either one though. But we can't stop big plays and we can't make big plays. So something ain't working. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And we just need to call it what it is. Bright spots, though. I am going to give some bright spots real quick. The rookies in the offensive line, I'm going to give them some love today. The reason why I'm going to give them some love, well, is because they deserve it. I mean, I'm going to give these guys some love here, right? I thought that I thought I saw enough out of Brady Christensen and Josh Nishman to step in. You know, I thought they did their thing. I thought they did pretty good, right? I don't think everything was bad with them. I thought that was some bright spots there. Because not everything was just terrible. All right, like most of it, as you can see. But I thought they actually saw some life. You know, Jadavion Sanders had a decent game. We finally started to see more about him, or more from him, I should say. I want to look at their stats real quick. I need to go look at Jadavion Sanders stats because it definitely. Because at first I was like, man, this guy is not proven to be anything. So Jadavion Sanders, best game so far, 5 receptions, 49 yards, 9.8 average. He had the longest catch he had was 21 yards. He had 7 targets. He had the second most targets. So I'm glad to see the tight end position and Jadavion Sanders doing that. Jalen Coker, I got to give him a shout out. 3 catches, 30 yards. He had some clutch moments. 15 was his longest catch, 3 targets. And then, of course, the Xavier Legette. Those guys were among the top 4 wide receivers. Jadavion Sanders, Coker, and Legette. 3 for 23 for Legette, a touchdown for 4 targets. So good. I also got to give a shout out to Josh and Brady Christensen stepping in. All right. This was a line that was held up, that held up pretty well, being banged up. Brady Christensen, Josh Nishman did a solid job. Besides, Nishman had a false start and I think maybe 1 penalty. I think he only had 1 penalty. He might have had a holding call if I don't remember correctly. But they did a solid job pass protection. Brady Christensen transitioned to the center position. I mean, I thought I was watching Austin Corbett all over again. And the run game was there. Even though the rest of the team was crumbing around it, I thought Nishman, again, particularly rebounded from a rough start to show that he does have some starting material. So that's some bright spots there for you. Got to give you some bright spots at least. All right. Got to give you some bright spots. Okay. Best and worst performers versus Atlanta. These are my best performers. These are my top three. These are my bottom three. I thought Chuba Hubbard's been a beast lately, man. Averaging over 100 yards per game across the last 4 weeks. Not that it's making any difference, but the dude's doing his job. Okay. We just need to see him get the ball more. Deontay Johnson still finding ways to contribute in the passing game. That's been erratic at best. And then Trevor Wallace. I thought Trevor Wallace had a good game. Deontay Johnson, though, well, let's go with Chuba Hubbard's stats. Chuba Hubbard, 18 carries, 92 yards, averaging 5.1 yards per carry. He also got some burn in the catching game as well. He had 5 catches, 11 yards on 6 targets. But Deontay Johnson, 6 catches, 78 yards, 1 touchdown out of 10 targets. He was targeted 10 times. And then Trevin Wallace, 9 total tackles, 6 solo tackles. So, yeah, back-to-back strong outings for him, for a rookie, okay? Andy Dalton, Andy wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. Because the interception in the fourth quarter was what put his name there for me. Because it was brutal. And he's also thrown 3 picks in the last 2 weeks. So that's something for me to think about. And his inability to come through in key moments, that's killing the team. But I also got to say that Dave Canales, like I said earlier, is part of that, is part of that issue. Jonathan Mingo, 1 catch for 1 yard. What the fuck is he even on this team for? With Jalen Coker stepping up, Mingo might be getting phased out fast. If I'm Carolina, I might be looking to trade him. Just saying. You might not get much out of him, but I guarantee you got teams like Buffalo who need a wide receiver. Kansas City, I'm sure we could get a little something, and I'm not saying much, but I would look into it. And then last but not least, the entire defensive front, of course. Not going to say any more about that. Ran all over. Couldn't generate pass rush. Cousins was barely touched. Again, this front seven is about as soft as a pillow right now. So that's my best and worst performers versus Atlanta. But here are my final thoughts. Here are my final thoughts. And it's a question that I know a lot of you guys probably are asking yourself, when will this madness end? Because at this point, it feels like we're trapped in some kind of sick football purgatory every single week. And it's the same story, flashes of hope, brief moments of competence, and then boom, it all comes crashing down out of nowhere. It's a roller coaster. One of those broken down ones, though, at that sad amusement park where nobody goes. The highs aren't even that high, and the lows make you want to scream, cry, punch something all at once. Because this is a never-ending cycle of incompetence. Look, it's one thing to lose games, but it's the NFL, it happens. But to lose in the way Panthers keep doing it, that's a different level of pain. Every single week, they tease us with just enough to keep us watching, thinking, hey, maybe we're going to turn this corner. Oh, we're still in this game. And then just as quickly as they remind us just that, no, we still suck, and we're a nightmare of incompetence. Yeah, Smitty was wrong about Jonathan Mingo. So this defense again is an absolute joke. I'm not even sure what they're doing out there half the time. You know, it's like I said, it's like they forget that they're supposed to stop the other team from scoring. Every third down feels like a death sentence. Opposing offense must they have to be salivating at the side of our defense. Like, oh, it's third and long, no problem, we got this. Our offense, it's hit or miss, mostly miss. Dalton played well for 3 quarters. Then, like clockwork, he throws a game-breaking interception that makes you want to throw your TV out the window. Canals play calling again. It's like someone spinning a roulette wheel to decide which random player gets the ball. Why aren't we just feeding Chuba Hubbard like he's a damn workhorse? I have no idea. Penalties, don't get me started on that. We shoot ourselves in the foot so much. I'm surprised anyone on the team can even stand up half the time. It's just the same mistakes, different week, every week. So what's infuriating is that it's not even that we're losing because the other team's amazing. No, it's we're beating ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Week after week, it's the same damn mistakes, the same lack of adjustments, the same failure to execute. It's like the coaching staff and players are all in on some inside joke to see how many ways they can find to screw things up. How many ways can we make this fan base pissed off? How many more ways can we make Clay at the Ropp Star Report pissed off? 1 minute we're driving down the field, and next we're making a boneheaded decision that flips the game on its head. At this point, I don't even know what's worse. The fact that we keep losing or the fact that we are so damn lost while doing it. Every game feels like a broken record. You can predict what's coming. You can predict what's coming. And that's poor defense, inconsistent offense, and some brutal, soul-crushing mistake in the fourth quarter to seal the deal. So where's the accountability? Here's what really grinds my gears. Where is the accountability? At some point, somebody needs to be held responsible for that mess. The players aren't executing. The coaching staff can't adjust. The front office keeps making the same bad roster decision, but it feels like everyone is content to shrug it off like, oh, well, better next week. No, that's why I made this show like I did today. It's time to stop pretending that this is just fine. It's not fine. Why should I go out and pay $250 for two tickets? Why should I go and pay $135 for a jersey for a player that might not even be here in the next 2 to 3 years? The Panthers have become a laughingstock once again, and it's embarrassing. This team talks about a big game about culture, about building for the future. But when are we going to see actual progress? When will they stop selling us on potential and start delivering results? Because I'm sick of the excuses. That's why I'm calling out Dave Canales and Najiro Evero and these other players. I'm calling out lemon drop head David Tepper as well, our owner, who needs to sell the team. You fuck. Injuries, sure, but every team deals with injuries. Good teams find ways to overcome them, and we fold like a cheap tent. Stop giving these players and these coaches excuses, Panthers fans, and start holding people accountable. Start holding this owner, this coaching staff, the players accountable, and stop being such lovers. We got to stop. Like, you can love the players. Sure, there's certain players on this team I love, but I'm going to hold them accountable if they're not doing their job. There are certain coaches on this team that I like, but I'm going to hold them accountable as well. Dave Canales is one of them. I like Dave Canales as a coach, but I'm going to hold him accountable for boneheaded mistakes. And David Tepper, at this point, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. He's nothing but a circus, whatever you call him, a circus master. That's all he is. He's the lion tamer. But this circus is running rampant. It's running rampant. The circus has gotten loose in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's just running rampant. But see, the way I'm talking to you guys, about the Carolina Panthers is that no one else is going to tell you the way I'm telling you. You got people out here doing clickbait shit. You got people out here talking about optimistic that we're going to win every freaking game. We were going to go 11-6. We've got people out here talking that that Bryce is going to be a franchise guy. Cut the bullshit. Cut the bullshit. And let's be real with ourselves. Start holding people accountable. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Honestly, right now, I'm going to tell you this right now. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like we are stuck in this loop of a failure. And until something drastic changes, we're going to keep spiraling. We've got some bright spots. Chuba Hubbard's balling. Deontay Johnson looks like the real deal. The rookies are getting experience. They're starting to come along. But it doesn't mean a damn thing if the rest of the team can't get it together. And at this point, I don't even know what to hope for. Do we tank for a higher draft pick? Because it sure looks like that's what we're doing, and that's what we're heading for. And if that's the case, fine. Let's embrace the suck. And get someone who can actually make a difference. But whatever it is, this half-assed effort week after week needs to stop. Either you playing to win or you're not. And right now, it feels like the Panthers are somewhere in between, stuck in a gray zone of mediocrity and missed opportunities. So when will this madness end? I'm going to just tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, hell if I know. But something has to give. Either this team gets its act together, or we're in for a long, painful season, and probably a few more after that. And again, I'm not asking for a Super Bowl contending team right now. I just want a team that can show some signs of life consistently. Is that too much to ask for? Huh? Is that too much to ask for? I don't think it's too much to ask for, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it's too much to ask for. We got over 43 people watching. I appreciate everybody watching wherever you're watching, whether it's on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Appreciate everyone joining. Make sure you do me a favor. Make sure you do these 3 things for me right here. Just do those 3 things for me. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, shout out to Roundtable Sports live this Tuesday. Again, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. EST, NFC South Roundtable. Of course, I'm part of it. You also got a Saints State of the Saints, TJ over there, State of the Saints podcast. You also got Smitty from, I think his is Smitty Machine. And you also have Mr. Bucks Nation, our Buccaneers guy.
Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from your favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports. Real coverage from real fans.
Yeah, so shout out to my guys over there, Roundtable Sports, TD Fence Talk, Richie from Jets Media. Who else is over there? Dan Mitch for the Buffalo, and of course, Patriots Global, Colby, who is the host of the NFC South Roundtable. So shout out to those guys over there. Got nervous for all your donations. That you got 1, 2, 3, 4 donations of $5. I appreciate you that, my guy. Let's try to get to 50 likes or more, everyone. So shout out to Nervous and also James Island for that $2 donation. Shout out to all you guys for your donation to the channel. I appreciate you guys.
That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
So shout out to you guys. Let's see what we got. We showed signs on offense. Clay, yeah, I don't disagree with that, Randall. We definitely showed signs on offense. I don't think the offense is an issue. Again, the only issue I have on the offense and what I said earlier is with Dave Canales' play calling. Sometimes he just makes boneheaded mistakes, and he makes the play calling too complex when it could be just something simple. Instead of throwing a ball to Ian Thomas, which that might have been Andy Dalton's decision, when you have a check down right there to Jonathan Mingo for 5 yards and it's on 2nd and 8 and you're in the fourth quarter, you're down 28-20, just doesn't make sense to me to go for Ian Thomas, a guy who has been best known as a blocking tight end has hands for bricks. Just doesn't make sense to me at the end of the day, that play call right there. And then they go down after that. After that pick, they go down, drive down the field, and Tyler Algier scores the touchdown. Game over. That's the only thing I got in that aspect of things. Falcons rides up. What's up, Toxic Black? Good game yesterday. Good win for you guys. What were you talking about? Flame said something. Sorry. I bet they pick a quarterback, Clay, with that top pick. You know, I was watching someone's podcast today, and they said that don't be surprised if Drew Allard out of Penn State ends up taking over the quarterback race in this draft class. And I was high on Drew Allard this year. And if we have the first pick, the guy that I was watching this podcast, and it wasn't a Panthers podcast, it was just like a sports podcast. And the guy said, don't be surprised if Carolina's at 1 and Drew Allard's the best quarterback coming out of this draft class, that they take Drew Allard out of Penn State. I don't see that. That it would, again, if they do that, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think at the end of the day, Carolina needs to take every last draft capital they have and go into the defense. They need to get as much draft capital they have. But we already have 9 picks in this upcoming draft class. So if I'm Carolina, you know, guys, I'm taking that first pick. If I do have the first pick overall, I'm taking it and I'm trading it. I'm trying to get as much draft capital in this draft class and then getting future picks as well for that pick. If they want to get a quarterback and there's someone that falls there, I just don't see it. Broski Bear goes Drew Allard, and I'm back in. I heard Drew Allard, and I'm back in. So that was just from a sports podcast I was listening to this morning while doing some work. So I don't know. Yeah, the only problem I have with Uber's Flame for Jesus is that he reminds me of Joe Burrow. Elite. I think he can be a great quarterback. He just can't stay healthy. Yeah, Matt Travis, I don't disagree with you. I don't really like the quarterback draft class in this. There's only like 3 guys I like, and it's Drew Allard, Jackson Dart, and Quinn Ewers. I would take Jackson Dart if he's there in the second round. I would take Jackson Dart in the second round. And I would let him sit behind whoever our bridge quarterback is, because we need to get a bridge quarterback, whether they re-sign Andy Dalton to be the bridge guy or whatever. But I do believe we need to, if we need to just go all defense. We need to pull a Carolina Panthers 2020 draft class where we just draft all defense. Now, if they, again, and they could do that. But who knows? Dave Canales might see his guy of the future in this draft. And he might have a say of saying, I'm going to go get that guy. I'm not high on Shedeur T. Thompson. I'm just not. And here's the thing. You can like him all you want, T. Thompson. Dion would not let him come to Carolina. I can tell you right now, Dion would pull an Eli Manning with him. And so y'all can forget about Shedeur Sanders ever coming to Carolina. I guarantee you that. So, Dixon, Cam Ward's probably 4th or 5th on my list. He's probably 4th or 5th on my list. Josh, I don't disagree with you, my friend. I don't disagree with you. They need to be on this phone with Robert Saleh, in my opinion, as well. Good thing Dave Canales is good friends with him, apparently. Don't get excited for Arch either. I think we're going to listen. I like Arch, but I'm not too excited about him yet. I haven't seen enough from him. Yeah, but Dixon, Clemson's coming around nicely. Clemson's coming around nicely. Debo's on a mission. Debo's on or Dabo there in Clemson's on a mission to prove that he doesn't need the portal. And right now, ever since they lost that Georgia game, they've been balling. And ever since Georgia played Clemson, Georgia really hasn't looked that good, Dixon. Let's call it what it is. Georgia has been struggling a lot lately. We'll probably draft Travis Hunter. I wouldn't be mad at it. That could be a once-in-a-lifetime talent right there. Again, y'all can say Cam over Ward, Shedeur Sanders over Cam Ward over Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders will never be a Carolina Panther. As long as Dion's alive, Shedeur Sanders will never be a Carolina Panther. So you might as well just go ahead. You can like him from afar. You can like Shedeur Sanders from afar. James Pierce Jr., I like him. I still like the guy out of Texas A&M. Yeah, we definitely need to go all defense for sure. They need to go after they either need to go after, let's see. Let's go. They need to go after guys like Mason Graham is a good one. Kenneth Grant's another one. Nick Scruton out of Texas A&M's another good one. LT Overton's another one. Abdul Carter, Mikael Williams. I like Danny Stutzman as a linebacker out of Oklahoma. Jack Sawyer's another one. Jahad Campbell, Deion Walker, James Pierce Jr., Shamar Stewart, TJ Sanders is another one. Landon Jackson. That's what I'm saying. Kyle Kennard, Jalen Walker, Harold Perkins Jr., JT Tulamalilu, Landon Jackson, Talik Williams, Lander Barton, Jack Kaiser, Kaman Rucker. There's a lot of talent on that defensive line, linebackers, edge rushing. There's a lot. I just named off a bunch of guys. So, yeah. Guys, I appreciate y'all listening to me rant, yell, scream at my frustrations for this team. I appreciate y'all listening. I hope y'all enjoyed today's show. I hope y'all enjoyed today's slideshow and stuff like that. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Do me a favor. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Click that post notifications bell. It goes a long way. Always get in the comment section. Love to hear y'all's thoughts in here. Also share the live out. That always helps as well. If you want to go the extra mile, become a member today. Working on some merch, working on some other stuff to give you guys members. It's just taking me some time right now. Also, feel free to join the Discord. It's free. Discord's for free for all you guys to join. It's a community where you could chat with me and the other people in the chat right now. People who are in the chat are in that Discord. Also, you can follow me on all my social. Okay. All my social media. That's as you see above me, Roppstar92_. That's all my social media. And then also shout out to our sponsorship of today's live stream. As always, BetUS. Shout out to them. Sign up today. You get 3 bonuses up to 125% on your first 3 bets up to $2,000. Also, you get 150% off on your first bet as well. So they're matching up a lot of money if you sign up for free. And use my link down there and use my promo code. It's still Pantherology because my channel used to be called Pantherology, but now it is the Roppstar Report, and better days are coming here on this channel because of you guys and what you do just by pounding that like button and subscribing. That's how I can continue to do this stuff and continue to bring y'all good content. So appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, smash the like, hit the subscribe. 3 things as always. Matthew, right there, you can join the Discord. Marcos put it in the chat. Put the link in there. Appreciate you doing that, Marcos. That's why you are my best mod in here. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Always remember 3 things. Have fun, be safe, and as always, keep pounding. Peace.